They have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We've got more in store for you right after this. And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome,
Show.
everybody. So far, a pretty one-sided first half. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Markelle Fultz was on fire in the first half. He had 13 points, 2 steals, and 1 rebound. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Their perimeter shooting has made the difference, and so many of their points are coming from long range. They've come out, spread the floor, and executed their jump shooting game. It's been a barrage from the three-point line. Guys always finding the open shot. If they can stay hot from three-point land in the second half, this game is over.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
Well, one reason they're getting roasted, a.k.a. blown out, poor rebounding. Way too many one-and-done possessions. I don't want to see guys dribble between their legs and shoot. Not enough fundamentals. Hey, box out 101. Maintain position 101. Learn how to play basketball 101. Things like that, Ernie.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
As we get ready to take a break, they're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
See if they try it.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Ben Simmons.
And guys, this really has been his night. He's done a lot of things well, but his scoring really put him over the top. You can see how determined he's been every time he's gotten his hands on the ball. Great drive and also great focus offensively.
This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long. With a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. Back right after this. The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had 12 points, 2 block shots, and 1 steal. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their bench has provided. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
And big fella, your thoughts on the Hornets?
Sloppy ball. Way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, that'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
Be difficult to overcome. The Bucks on top, up 19. And we'll be back right after this. Recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And he's had the hot hand tonight, Kevin, no doubt about it. He's gotten his field goal percentage up over 60, and you're only going to get it that high when you're taking good, smart shots.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. Folks, for our broadcast, for Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you later. Quarter of play, still a close game. Nets lead by 2. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Thaddeus Young has been the story in this one. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, valuing each possession, so critical to the tempo, so crucial to the offensive flow. They've got a great rhythm, as smart and as safe as they're playing. They made it clear they're not going to beat themselves today.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Nets?
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind in this game. I think if they can control those things, they'll be okay, Ernie.
That's it for now as the second half just about.
And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. Tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's Washington in control. They are leading by 4. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, I love the way they're pushing the tempo, beating the defense down the floor, filling the lanes, finishing with authority, Ernie, getting to the rim and finishing hard.
Shaq, what'd you think about Orlando?
Well, those second chance points are huge, and they only came because of their effort. Their work on the offensive glass is what's keeping them in the game. They definitely should try to continue to stay tough on the glass. It's been key so far.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Ending the third quarter on a 15-6 run. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. They're down by 5. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
It's going to be interesting to see what they draw up to get this quick shot.
Whatever it is, got to be fast. I mean, can't waste any time at this point.
Folks, for our broadcast, for Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Dallas has the edge here at halftime. They lead by 15. Kenny, what did you see from them?
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their bench has provided. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
And Shaq, what'd you see from Atlanta?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And you know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
And you just can't let it get into your head. That's a shot that you want to take.
And so it's Dallas, holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
During this timeout.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.
And he's provided them with a major mismatch on that low block tonight. That they've been able to lean on his scoring in the paint. And if nothing else has worked, he's given them a reliable option on every possession.
They're headed to overtime. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. For Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long. Back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It's an interesting battle going on tonight. Ernie Johnson here with you folks, alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. You are watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Taking a look at the Celtics. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
The thing I like is their aggressive approach and getting to the line. You know, when things seem to stagnate on offense, it's sometimes a matter of forcing your will. This team can generate a lot of points and also dictate the pace of the game if they play with that aggressiveness.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. From that front office.
You know, it had to be hard for Hoiberg as he's had a lot of things working against him. The roster hasn't matched how he has envisioned this offense working. Then infighting with players and management has put him in a tough spot.
All right, folks, for our broadcast. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Has been the story for the LA Clippers. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we'll be right back after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everybody. So far, a pretty one-sided first half. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a big-time first quarter for Avery Bradley. He had 13 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, the best part of their performance has been their offensive rebounding. So often it's overlooked, but you get 2 quality shots because of your effort. That is the difference in the game. I love the way they're battling and getting all those putbacks. They keep that up, game over.
Shaq, your take on Memphis.
Well, they struggled in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
Point lead to end the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. Right back after this break. It up for Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. It was a big-time first quarter from Anthony Davis. He ended up with 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. What did you think, Shaq, about New Orleans?
Well, the first half belonged to the Brow. Anthony Davis has the shot blocking and rebounding of the big man. It's his offensive skill that really sets him apart. Got the touch, he got the handles. He's something special.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Miami?
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the boards. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
That's it for now as the second half just about ready to go.
As the quarter wraps up, they're ahead 16 points. Their transition game has been in full effect. Right back after this break. That'll do it, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. See you next time. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 16 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Right up front, we saw the elite two-way game of Paul George. Locking down guys defensively, lesser athletes have almost no chance to score on him. And then he was in total command on the offensive end. Made plays for others and shot lights out for himself.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Utah?
Ernie, I don't use this word a lot because, one, I can't spell it, but it was definitely a subpar effort for them on the glass. That hurt. They're serious about cutting into this deficit. It's gut check time. Ugh, you hear that, Ernie? I'm hitting my gut. Ugh, you got to check your gut, Ernie. Ugh, gut check time, Ernie.
That's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway.
Slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you gotta use it.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
And help ease tension within a team, or sometimes, if necessary, with the media.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was gonna be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. For our broadcast, for Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone. As the first quarter comes to a close, Nuggets lead by 1. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. Some incredible work in this one by Nikola Jokic. He had 14 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Kenny, your thoughts on the Nuggets' first half?
Well, I see a team that's playing smart, moving the ball around to the open man, just taking what the defense gives them. There's a nice flow, a nice energy, a nice synergy to the game.
Shaq, how'd you think the Warriors were playing?
Ernie, they're taking way too many threes. The offense has no rhythm. They need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe try to get a little bit more transition, more off the pick and roll. Anything other than shooting that three. It's not going.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Priority right now in that huddle. They've got to tighten it up.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Draymond Green.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just torn them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Minnesota came out looking very confident. They had the upper hand early, defense and offense clicking, opening up an 8-2 run after the tip. By the end of the first quarter, their lead was 7. Moving on to quarter number 2, the intensity escalated, but the margin remained the same as they finished the half still up by 7. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
Kenny, your take on Phoenix.
To me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Right. 2K Sports back to Phoenix after this. Presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Jimmy Butler.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. We'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Up by 1. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
The
Show.
first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. There was no stopping Lonzo Ball in the first half. He had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
A great frame and a great name for the game. Lonzo Ball. He's definitely balling in the first half. With that sidewinder forming his jump shot, he's a unique player.
And Kenny, what did you see from Portland?
I felt they had a lack of intensity defensively. They gave up way too many threes. I mean, somebody needs to pull out the fire hose because this fire is out of control, and it certainly wasn't because of their defense.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Seven-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We'll return shortly. Of our Jordan Player of the Game, Damian Lillard.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
Good, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Some big-time action already in this one. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A pretty close game for the Kings throughout the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. Shaq, how did you think the Kings were playing?
I really like how they limited turnovers. You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice passes. When you can play like this and cut back turnovers, it can add up to over 10, 8, 12, 15, 16 easy points, Ernie. I don't know how many points, a lot of easy points. They'll be in good shape if they can keep making the same smart plays.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
They were really efficient on offense, shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Done.
You know, this is the discipline you need to play with. At this level, number of possessions matters.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Spurs out in front. They lead by 3. Live from Golden One Center, you're watching 2K Sports. Chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots, and also finishing strong.
Yes, that'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.